Okay, so that was an accurate summation of how to critique this episode. Really, it's another one where it's just these two muscular beefcakes just slamming into each other for like 20 minutes. In not that way. It was great. It was absolutely amazing. Last episode I kind of discussed, oh man, if I was watching this as like a 10-year-old, that would blow my mind. This episode really did do that. This episode really did regress me back into that kind of childlike wonder, sitting on my couch, watching Dragon Ball Z on freaking weeknights after I come home from school, do my homework, turn on Toonami and watch Goku beat the shit out of Cell or Frieza or Boo or whatever. This really did feel like that, okay? For a number of reasons. Number one, at this point, Jiren is pretty much just regressed into a common, friendship is for fools! Strength is the only thing that matters! I will beat you! And that's not, evil. I mean, you can't call it that. That's not on the same level as, what Frieza's spouting off or anything. And it's also not like the just wanton, absolute destruction, pure chaotic evil that Kid Buu represented. It's nothing like that. But in terms of, interesting character traits, not very many things to be found here. In terms of, anything original and non-cliche, not really much things to be, regarded here, okay? Jiren, I think Goku actually effectively breaks Jiren, because Jiren really had that moment in this episode. I mean, it was kind of building to this point. In fact, I just realized, because Jiren's, whenever he powers up, it's like he has the entire power of a sun, inside of him, because his ki is, radiating fire out from his body. I really think it's maybe that's a metaphor for his rage building, because whenever we see Jiren first, he's this very calm, very collected. He's like, "Get lost, you pleb," and then he's and then he spends most of the time just meditating, I'm all calm, but I'm really badass. You can't even get close to me. I'm so freaking godly strong. And now that Goku Ultra Instinct last episode was kicking his ass, it was just he was getting a little bit more peeved. And now that we have mastered Ultra Instinct, he just explodes. He's just like, you freaking BAM! And then shirt rips off and the freaking nipples get erect and it's just like, okay, it's time to go. And it's some really cool shit. From Goku's end, not too many, new techniques, nothing, really, that really stood out. I mean, the fact that Goku is, constantly glowing, silver now is pretty badass. It just, the Kamehameha, that kind of crap. He did have one attack that I thought was really cool, where it looks like he shoots, I don't want to say it's ki, it probably was, but it looks like he just, does this, and it shoots out, air. Like a cannon at Jiren, and then when it's about to hit him, the air begins to pummel Jiren, the air is like Goku's controlling it, or probably his ki, controlling his ki to punch Jiren from a distance, and then Jiren gets slammed into a rock. That was pretty cool. On Jiren's end, I mean, he literally turns the entire battlefield into a smoldering hellscape. You got freaking Jiren and Goku, maximum power. Goku's a freaking beyond god at this point. Jiren's super strong, and they're fighting in a massive hellscape, fiery damnation arena. You would have to be carted off to the hospital at that point, It'd be like kids all over America would be like, oh my god, what happened to him? It's okay, man. It's okay. He's in DB shock. Get it? It's like DB, he has DBS. It's DB shock, not DB super. My son is dying! Okay, we'll help him out. Give him a shot of epinephrine or whatever. Okay. So, there's a few things that ruined it. Actually, one thing that ruined it, though we'll get to that. The episode, I mean, it has the peanut gallery adding in some kind of, really redundant sort of lines. Like, when Goku first goes into Ultra Instinct, one of the first things he does is he speeds right by Jiren, and then he cuts his cheek. And it's like, whoa, Goku's super fast now. Then we cut over to Piccolo in the bleachers that's like, so is that the speed of the mastered Ultra Instinct? No, Piccolo, that's not. That's just his normal speed he was always using. I guess Jiren must have slowed down. that was kind of, okay, redundant statement, redundant. Goku has achieved Ultra Instinct. Is that the speed of Ultra Instinct? Is that the power of Ultra Instinct? Is that the stamina of Ultra Instinct? They could be like, yeah, that's all included under the purview of Ultra Instinct, okay? It's badass. We all know that. You have Bermude off to the side, who last episode was all about, like, he can't defeat Jiren with a inferior Ultra Instinct, and then Goku masters it, and now Bermude's just, like, throwing a tantrum like a little clown child, throwing stuff. It's like, yeah, well, even if he does have a mastered Ultra Instinct, so what? Jiren is still Jiren, he's still gonna win. So that was kind of funny there. You have moments, not as many moments from Beerus as I was expecting, because, you have last episode, Beerus is like, that damn kid, he's finally gone and done it. That is indeed the mastered Ultra Instinct. I was expecting more moments from him and Whis, maybe looking at each other like, he's come so far or something like that. And not anything there. The episode is mostly focused on Goku and Jiren just brawling, and it's just amazing. I mean, the animation, okay, I can tell there's certain points for the animation where it's just them frozen like this, and they're just adding the glowy effect over it like a layer, because I've done that kind of stuff myself before. That's not hard to do. I could tell there was a few scenes where they were pulling that little trick, but for the most part, it was wow. It was intense. It was, things are moving around, and it gives, like, you could say that blurry effect whenever things are moving so fast, the animation, like, if you pause it at a certain point, it makes them look like freaking demons, like contorted, and be like, if you pause it a certain way. But hey, these characters are moving like speed beyond speed at this point. They're moving redonkulously fast. I don't even know if Zeno is having a good time watching this. Did we even see Zeno in this episode? The episode before the tournament ends. I don't even think we saw the Grand Priest or anything in this episode. That's kind of weird. So maybe they can't even see what's going on at this point. That'd be kind of funny. The arena even gets more destroyed than it did earlier. So there's that. There's a cool moment where we see a flashback of Goku from the perspective of Roshi. See, the whole crux of this fight between Goku and Jiren, is that Goku goes on about how, I know that I have people that support me, that made me strong, or rather, I think it's Roshi is the one that's explaining this, and then we're having little flashbacks through Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. It's like, Goku understands that his friends are the real source of his strength. And then Jiren, of course, is like, no! Strength is the source of strength. Absolute strength. He who loses everything! And then that's where he goes off on his tangent. I'm just like, hey, Jiren, you just said it. Your logic is a little flawed here. It's like, strength is absolute. Goku's strength is absolute. He's beating you. So you don't have a place to fucking complain, bro. Don't complain. Just be like, okay, alright, you're stronger than me. My entire philosophy for a big chunk of my life was, he who is the most strong wins. You're stronger than I am, so I guess I should just kneel before you and just accept my inevitable defeat instead of throwing a tantrum, Let me get this straight. Let me back this up a little bit, just so I can understand the backstory of Jiren, because we didn't get much of it, but let me just see if I can understand this, okay? So when Jiren was a wee little kid, before he probably even started training, when he was little Jiren, when he was a little kid, his village, and I guess his planet, got destroyed by this evildoer, this nebulous evildoer, okay? Okay, and then he gets pissed off because he's like, oh, mommy, daddy, okay, all my friends and family, they're all dead, I'm the only survivor. And so he gets taken away by his master, and his master teaches him the ways of martial arts and things, and he starts getting strong, and he starts amassing some friends and some colleagues that are also training under this master. I'm like, okay. And so I think that's the point where maybe Jiren started to feel like, okay, well, now that I have my master and my friends, we can do anything. We can beat this guy because we're going to all fight together. And then the evildoer shows back up and slaughters his master and a good chunk of his followers. And then the other ones that didn't get destroyed, they didn't get killed, they walked away. And then that's when Jiren decided, like, screw it! Friendship is nothing, it's strength that matters. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know. That just seems like kind of like, alright, it happened once, well, technically twice, but it really happened once, because you were a little kid when it happened the first time. I mean, you couldn't have fought back anyway. But it's like, alright, we're gonna train, we're gonna get stronger, we're gonna beat that guy. And then he shows up and slaughters them all. And they're like, oh, okay, well, screw friendship, it's only strength that matters. I'm like, you can try the friendship thing again. I mean, you teamed up with the Pride Troopers at some point. Maybe you could have tried tracking down... I mean, I'm assuming... Wait, did he kill the evildoer? I'm assuming he might have. I'm assuming after Jiren attained his godlike power, the first thing he would have done is, like, tried to track down the person that slaughtered his, family and then his master and try to kill him. But, I mean, you're members of the Pride Troopers, you know, you obviously are kind of putting some stock in... maybe not necessarily friendship, but, you know, you're part of this group, you know, that are all about the, well, pride gets kind of thrown out of it, but you know what I mean, like, you're working with them. Why would you even bother working for these Pride Troopers if you put no value in friendship whatsoever? Or if you, what do you do? You say to Goku here, Jiren gets to the point where he tries to straight up kill all of Goku's friends, because Jiren's like, friendship? That's bullshit! And he throws a freaking energy blast toward the bleachers, and then Goku deflects it, but it's like... And I start thinking, was that against the rules? I'm like, no. I don't think... It was against the rules for someone in the bleachers to attack the fighting arena, but I don't think it was against the rules for someone in the fighting arena to attack the bleachers. Besides, there was a bunch of gods of destruction and Kais and angels there, so they probably could have stopped it if they wanted to. But still, that just shows that Jiren's like, friendship, screw it! It can't do anything! You know, like, okay, well, why are you part of a group? Why are you wearing that? Why even bother, Jiren? Why even fucking bother if that's your philosophy on life? Alright, just go on top of a mountain, rip off your shirt, wear a freaking, you know, toga or something, just live in solitude and just do your meditation shit without even getting involved with the Pride Troopers. Who cares? If you're just gonna be like, friendship doesn't matter, colleagues doesn't matter, groups don't matter, it's all about strength. Except when you're stronger than me, then I'm just gonna, you know, freak out and throw a tantrum, okay? Alright, fine, whatever. Oh, God, Jiren, they had so many opportunities with that guy. Like, so many. Okay, I'll give Jiren one thing. I'll give Jiren one thing, though. By the end of this episode, okay, Goku, he finally has him down on the ground. Alright, he's ready to go, and Jiren is defeated. All Goku has to do is basically just knock him off, and he wins. Alright, great, awesome. So Jiren's there, and he's just like, just do it already. And Goku's like, he starts to charge up this glowy ball thing in his ball thing in his arm. I don't know what he's gonna do with it. Right at that moment, he begins to splurt blood, and he passes. He's like falls to the ground, and this energy starts contorting around him, and he starts freaking out like he's being strangled by his own ki. And then that's the after effect of attaining Ultra Instinct. You're stepping into the realms of a straight-up god at this point. I mean, yeah, you had God, I mean, Super Saiyan God before that. That's like Divine Ki. But this is like on a whole other level. This is like a physical state that only gods are supposed to be in, and you're immortal doing this. So there was bound to be some backlash at some point, you understand. So while he's there on the ground, like being strangled, like, you know, Bermud gets up and he's like, Jiren, knock him off, knock him off, knock him off. And Jiren, you know... I don't know. I feel like at least he's with his convictions. You know, I feel like maybe I would have felt less for Jiren if Jiren would have been like, nah, he showed me that friendship matters. I'm gonna knock myself off. You know, because then it's at that point, your morals and your philosophy of life is about as freaking stable as a teeter-totter. You know, at that point, it's just like, well, 5 seconds ago I was talking about how friendship is bullshit and strength is what matters, but... now that you've fought me, I have seen the errors of my ways, Goku. I will sacrifice. That's not what happens. Jiren gets up and he's like, you know, this isn't the way I wanted this to go down, but I gotta do it, bro. And then he shoots the ground and then Goku falls, and it's like, whoa. Now at this point, I was all thinking about like, alright. Goku's gonna get eliminated. He put up a good fight. And we all know Frieza is still in the fighting arena. I mean, I don't know how the hell he managed to find a safe spot out of all this, you know? But, I mean, there's, like, Armageddon up in here in this episode. But, we all know Frieza's there. So I was expecting Goku to be eliminated, sure. And then while Jiren is, you know, he got beaten down pretty severely. He's taking some battle damage in this episode. That's when Frieza just kind of, like, does, like, all of his power all at once. And it just, you know, what? And then, because Jiren didn't even know he was still there. And then that's when Universe 7 wins. But no! No, that's not in fact what happens. So when Goku is getting dropped off, he gets knocked back up, got a key shot, knocks him back up on one of the floating rocks, and then Golden Frieza's standing there, and everyone's like, Frieza, you're still here! And I'm like, yeah, we should have known that already. But oh, he didn't appear next to you in the thing, so I don't know why you would forget about him. But then, oh my god, I feel like I... So 17 steps out of the rubble, I know that's rather anticlimactic. There's no build-up, but there isn't. There literally isn't. There's no, like, there's not even, like, any epic triumphant music or something. It's like, Frieza knocks Goku back, and it's like, Frieza! And then 17 just steps out of the rubble, and there's like, 17! And then that's it! It's like, no! No, you can't do that! You can't just do that out of nowhere! Like, if you were, like, okay, you shouldn't do it either. Like, when you self-destruct, you self-destruct. There's a moment there that's called emotion, and that shouldn't be ruined by, like, 2 or 3 episodes later. Like, oh, by the way, guys, he wasn't dead. He was fine. You know, he looks exactly the same as he always did. And his only excuse here is, it was a gamble whether or not I'd survive or not. You know, even though, oh, it was a gamble whether or not you'd survive or not. Because you're looking pretty good. Your clothing is not damaged at all. Your sleeve is ripped a little. You don't seem to have any major injuries or anything. Like, come on, man, you're an android. You could at least have some wires sticking out or something. Like, your eye could be, like, you know, broken or something. Yeah, have something to show battle damage, for God's sake. Like, holy shit. But no, there's, like, better ways you could even manage that train wreck. You could just be, like, the last 5 seconds of the episode, you hear some triumphant, you know, you hear some, like, triumphant music in the background, and then you hear 17 speak, and everyone turns and is like, could it really be? And then 17 appears out of the rubble, he's missing an arm, he's bleeding, he's got wiring and all the android shit sticking out of him, and he's like, still here. That's how at least you do it. That would have still pissed a lot of people off, but at least that's how you do it. Not just like, I'm alright guys, I'm good, back to the fight. You know, I was under no expectation that 17 was gonna stay dead. Because it's Dragon Ball. They have the, like, who has actually died in Dragon Ball that wasn't a villain and has actually stayed dead? Like, who is someone that has actually just died for good that we never see again? Alright, that's not like a villain. I'm thinking like Grandpa Gohan, but even that, well, I mean, we saw him with Baba's power. That's excusable. That's something in the lore of the series. But beyond that, we never see Grandpa Gohan ever again. Goku never runs into him while in Otherworld or while in heaven or anything. So that's something. So you got Grandpa Gohan. Let's see here. You got, okay, 16. 16 died but he was an actual android. He was a robot. Okay, so he doesn't have a soul. I mean, well, that could be debated. Okay, so, but you got 16. He was a good guy, but, you know, he wasn't really living. You know, who else? I'm sure there's others. I'm sure there's others. You know, a good person in the Dragon Ball series that's just gone and never seen from again afterwards, but, I'm not thinking of any right off the top of my head right about now. So if someone wants to comment that'd be lovely. You know, I don't... Huh, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, so 17's alive, so just drain all that emotion out of the scene, and, Goku's passed out, and 17 and Frieza are, I guess, gonna try to deal with Jiren for the last episode. Well, not the last episode, because it is gonna be coming back, although I still think it might have a different name when it comes back. Even if it doesn't, okay, fine. But it's the end of the arc. The end of the arc is next episode. So, I don't know if it's going to be a cliffhanger ending, or if it's going to be a straight up, like, the tournament's over, wish for the dragon, and then after that, it's you know, the title of the episode is Until We Meet Again, so I don't know what that indicates with Goku. If Goku might have to go and train with the gods for a while because of this power. You know, like, he's not going to be able to survive as a mortal with this ability. Like, he has to go and train with this, otherwise he's just going to straight up die, and it would be a massive waste for us to lose him. So we need to go with him for a few years, and he needs to train with us to really understand how to use Ultra Instinct. So that might be the case there. Kind of something at the end of GT, with Shenron going off into the clouds with Goku. That was something that was pretty cool. So, what did you guys think of this episode 130, and what did you think about the big reveal that 17 was alive the whole time? I know I didn't give a shit about it, but I mean, I like 17, but it was horrible how they executed that. Like, my God, like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself to buy you guys just a few extra minutes. Nah, I'm good. It's cool. My arm hurts a little. It's kind of sprained. I think I bruised my elbow a bit. Oh, well, here we go. Back in the fight. Okay, motherfucker. I see what you're doing. All right. All right. You guys have a good one. Last episode next week for quite some time, and I think we're also getting a Dragon Ball Super movie, so that'll be cool. Maybe that'll tie into it somewhere. But yeah, thanks for watching. Signing out. Oh, I guess Guru. Yeah, Guru, he died and never came back. And you can't really count Nail and Kami because they didn't really die. They were assimilated into Piccolo, so I don't think you can really count them as dying. But yeah, Guru definitely died.